So we're back on the banks. Today you've joined me on the mighty River Trent, and I thought I'd come down and have a day's fishing for barbel and pike. I haven't been to this section for probably a good few weeks. I was hoping to spend a lot of time on here to try and catch some of the big pike. And although I've done well, and I've had quite a few, it has been very quiet. My biggest fish from here this season has been just over 22, so I thought I'd come down for the day and I'd divide it. The first half of the day we'll do a spot barbel fishing. In this section there's loads. You've got chub, barbel, you've got carp, and then later on in the day we can move on to the pike around afternoon time, spend the rest of the remaining time 3 or 4 hours fishing for pike, and there is a few zander in here as well. And I'm hoping with this section we've got chub, barbel and carp. So little PVA bags. I've got simple 3-ounce lead on this one. Now on this particular one I've got a 6-ounce lead. I want to go for the middle of the river, and this is going to be ideal for what we need. Hopefully we can get some pike later on this afternoon, and that would be nice. So tactics wise, this is really simple. It's the 12-pound fluorocarbon. This is the Timu stuff they sent me. Same hooks from the Timu video. These are size 6 curved shanks. These are just as good as any hook I've ever used. And you get like 50 for £3.50. Unreal. So yeah, I've saved myself a few quid there. And then lead wise, 6 ounce. I want to get this bait out there as far as I can. Well, I want to say far as I can, probably middle of the river. So yeah, today we are giving it a bit on the old Timu tackle. Right, let's give it a bash without falling in or sliding in. Let me think. Well, it's nice to see the river levels dropping down slowly. The last time I was fishing here, the levels were right up here, and these are the little snags and bits that we have to contend with when we're fishing a river. I mean, there's tyres everywhere. Someone's obviously dumped them down here, or they've come down from stream. But this peg, it does produce some nice fish. I mean, especially for the pike. So I thought, half a day's barbel fishing, just scatter them around here. You've got a nice slope on the margins just here. You're looking at anything from 5 to 6 foot here, and then obviously further out it's going to be much deeper, but there's hardly any pace to the river, which is nice. I'm not going to get any rain. It's been raining for the past 2 or 3 days, but it hasn't affected the river levels. It hasn't been torrential rain, it's just been bits and bobs coming through, so hopefully we can get something today. Well, the rods are all in sitch, everything's looking all right. I'd be confident for a bite. All I'm doing on this session, I'm just fishing a really simple cheese and garlic sort of bags of pellets, just sort of pub chucking them around, just trying to pick some fish up. I'm not going to put too much bait in because it is fairly cool still. The water's absolutely freezing, so I thought it'd be a nice simple few hours up until dinner time, and then we'll move on to catching a few pike. It's been up and down. I spoke to a friend of mine literally 5 minutes ago asking about how it's been fishing, and it's not been fishing that well, if I'm honest, which is pretty much standard for this time of year on most venues. The back end of February is when it starts to pick up and you start getting a few fish. So I'm thinking do a few day sessions here and there, and then we can sort of progress for that sort of last 4 weeks, the last 2 weeks of Feb, first 2 weeks of March before the end of the season, and then we can try and get some big pike, because you'll just be camping most of the time. You won't be catching that many fish, to be honest. So yeah, hopefully we can get something today. It would be nice. I mean, it's one of them sections of river that can be up and down, like most rivers. You have your good days and your bad days, but if we don't get any barbel, it might be nice for a few pike. And the dead baits I've got at the moment are frozen over, so I've got to wait for them to defrost for a couple of hours, but it would be nice to get a few fish in the bag. And I was supposed to be away in Scotland fishing for pike, but the weather's been really bad. It's this time of year, it's always awkward. You never know what it's going to be like, the rain and this, that and the other. So I've got to contend with doing these odd few day sessions. And hopefully we can get something today. We'll get one more recast going on here, and then we'll shoot over to the bottom section and have a little look around there and see what's happening, see if there's any fish knocking around. Because we're only after one fish. I'm not expecting any more than that, so. Yeah, half an hour, then we'll hopefully get some action at the top end. There is a little outlet, probably 500 yards further up, that is known to produce a few fish, only the smaller ones, but at the moment I'm just hoping for one fish today. And the thing about the outlet swim is it's quite snaggy. There's loads of snags and rocks up there, so with there not being much flow on the river, I will be fishing further out, but it's trial and error this time of year, it always is. So right, give it till 12, then we'll quickly wrap up and shoot up there. New swim, just gone 12 o'clock, so we've got 3.5 hours, something like that, to try and get one out of the bag. This has produced some nice fish for me over the years. But like I say, it is very testing conditions. Although it's nice and overcast, yeah, it's going to be one of them days, I can see it. So hopefully we'll get some action here. Now, from what I can remember in this swim, you have got a lot of rocks here. I mean, it is up a little bit to what it normally would be, but I'm thinking this right-hand side, just past this tree for the pike, and then obviously the barbel much further out. So we'll go not too far out, but just to get past these snags, that should be fine. Yeah, nice firm silty bottom there, so that should be perfect for here. I'm hoping that because the bottom section was really quiet, it can go two ways. The top or the bottom can be quiet and they're located in the middle section of the river, or sometimes the bottom section where I was can produce a lot of fish. So it's all trial and error. Just keep moving, try different swims and hope for the best. But I don't think many fish have been caught over the past couple of weeks, I really don't. And that's just from speaking to a few anglers today. I must have seen probably 3 or 4 over the past 4 or 5 hours, just coming up and down, having a little look, and then had a little chat with them, and it's been really quiet, especially on the pike front. So, right, so last but not least, fresh PVA bag. Put fresh baits on both the rods, one on the dead bait, and I put fresh bottom bait on here as well. And the joy of fishing for different species this time of year, if the pike side's really quiet, you might bag up on the barbel or the chub or vice versa, but as I mentioned before, it is unpredictable this time of year in February. So, right, that's nice and slack there. There's a little bit of pace out to the middle, not too much, so we'll go a little bit further out. That's pretty much centre of the river, so let's see what that produces. So hopefully we can get some action, if not on the barbel rod, maybe the pike in this margin area. But I found that if either end isn't doing anything and you're not catching much and you move to the central part, which I am now, and you don't catch anything here, then it's pretty much, you know, a case of at least you've tried. That's the main thing. But yeah, no one's catching anything anyway, so I'm hoping that I can pull some magic out of the bag and we get at least one fish. Hopefully a pike, if I'm honest, but you just never know what's around the corner. So Got a good few hours left. I'm going to recast every 45 minutes. I've got plenty of PVA bags loaded up with pellets, and the dead bait should be fine just recasting that. So right, let's give this another recast. We've got probably about an hour left, so we are slowly coming towards the end of the session. A little bit of debris on there. Just need that one blank saver. This is part and parcel of the fishing. This is why I like it. If it was easy all the time, you'd probably wouldn't do it. Oh, that's nice and sharp. These Harissa hooks, what I got with the Timu tackle, they are absolutely brilliant. Just as good as any other manufacturer. 50 hooks for £3.50. No rusting. Brilliant. And these are what I'm going to be using from now on. And believe it or not, that's the same hook I used in the Timu video when we caught a barbel on it. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Right, let's go for it. Come on, my son. And that should do it. Right, recast on the old dead bait. Hopefully we're not snagged up. That has been known in the past. You've got to do a quick retrieval on here so you don't drag it into any rocks. Right, are we any debris or no? That's fine. That is absolutely fine. It is cold. I haven't seen any signs of bait fish, and with the river being up, gauging where these rocks are, I just can't be bothered to lose a load of tackle. Well, we have come to the end of the session. It's been an absolute grueler, very cold. Can't believe I forgot my coat, but I've stuck it out for as long as I can. It's about 3:30 and it's time to call it a day. It's been a typical February day on here, and as I mentioned in my other videos, these first few weeks of February I knew it'd be difficult. They always are. I'm just looking forward to the end of Feb, beginning of March, where the season slowly comes to an end. All the pike are going to be at the biggest weights, and that is what we're going to be targeting in the next few weeks, obviously, like I normally will do every year. So I'm thinking my next session might be on a different river, a lake or a drain. I'm not too sure yet. There's a few venues I want to go to. But if you haven't seen any of the videos on this river that I've done in the past where I've caught big pike, then check this video out here.